Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Automation Hub Sathak, and we will start a new playlist with TestNG in the English language. Of course I'll finish the Hindi version as well. Anyways, so let's go ahead and okay. See, in my Hindi video I did tell you about how to install and uninstall TestNG and then install it. In the English version I'll also show the same. First and foremost, I already have TestNG installed, so what I'll do is I'll uninstall it. See, even knowing how to uninstall is also important. So go to help, click on install new software, and you go to what is already installed and click here, and you'll see TestNG and TestNG P2 feature. These are the two things which I've already installed. So what I'll do is I'll select both of them and I'll install it the same. So it will take some time and I'll just uninstall. Okay, so it won't take much time and it will ask me to restart Eclipse. So just hang on a minute. Okay, see, we have to restart now. I'm gonna pause the video because restarting will take. Okay, Eclipse is back. So now I need to install TestNG because anyways I've uninstalled it. So you will start with this because you might not have TestNG installed, but just to showcase you guys, I uninstall mine. Anyways, let's go ahead, help, go to install new software, and then here, see, at times what happens is sometimes TestNG behaves a little weird, so be a little bit careful. There are a couple of options which we can do. So you can click on add here and write here TestNG, and here in the location you'll have to give the particular address. So what you need to do is you need to go to testng .org, and here you'll have to go to download section and scroll down. In install via Eclipse marketplace section, install from update website, you will find something known as update site for release. Copy this particular URL, okay, and paste it here, and make sure you remove this dot. Okay, sometimes if you give add, nothing will show up here. It will say there is no site selected. In some situations what will happen here is TestNG will come up. Certain times TestNG will not. In my previous Hindi video which I did like day before yesterday, it came up, but now all of a sudden it is not coming up for whatever reasons that may be. So what you can do is you can directly go to work with, paste that URL, remove this dot, and see, the moment you do this, just click on enter, this thing will come up. Now don't select this checkbox, expand this. Okay, select TestNG and P2 feature. Do not select Maven integration optional, because at certain point of time there will be a certain interruption in your programming. So do not select this option, just leave it like that, and then go to next and wait, and then you click on next, accept the license agreement, finish it. This will take some time, so I'm putting my video on pause, but we'll have to wait to a situation wherein the window shows install anyway. Okay, I'll show you that window. Okay, this kind of window will come up as a warning. You are installing software that contains some unsigned content and all that thing. Just click on install anyway. Do not click on cancel. Okay, click on install anyway. Then after some time it will ask you for the restart. I'm pausing the video. Okay, immediately it came up. So just click on restart now, and then wait for Eclipse to restart. Okay, now my Eclipse has restarted. It might take some time for you guys, just have a little bit of patience. Then how do you know that whether TestNG has been installed or not? Go to window, okay, go to show view, go to other, and when you expand Java, you will see the Java folder, you will see TestNG is here. As simple as that. Okay, so now your TestNG is thoroughly installed. See, the thing is, I generally work on a Maven project, so I have all my dependencies installed. I have not taught you guys Maven and all, but what you have to do is you will also have to use a certain library function. Let's say for example I'm creating a new Java project. Okay, I will say TestNG for my YouTube channel. Okay, so I'm making this project Okay, cool. So I've made this project. Now I'll add all my Selenium jar files here, because when you create a Java project you will have to add your Selenium jar files. I'll go to add external jars. I have a Selenium folder and I have jar files here. Of course there are a lot of jar files which I have added. Some might not be needed, but then I also have test.ng jar files, everything which I need here. So again, it is completely up to you. I can go to D drive, okay, Selenium jar files. You see I have a lot of jar files here. I have added many which have test.ng jar files and everything. So you can Google and see what sort of test.ng jar files you need, so you can do that as well. Okay, I have everything. See, I have test.ng jar here. See, I have all jar files, test.ng jar, test.ng. You can go to Google and just select, you know, jar files for test.ng. Simple. And you will you know, you can go to this particular test.ng and download either of the same. You can either download the Maven dependencies, which I'll tell you later, or else you can go to any other place and you can download the jar files. You can come here and download test.ng jar and just add it in your typical jar file. This is what you need to do. Okay, you can download this and then you can, you know, upload that particular jar files into this particular project and you can run it, and that's how it should work. I generally don't tend to do it because I use Maven project, but for you people I'm making it here. So what I'll do is I'll copy all of these, okay, open it, apply and close. So I'll refresh the project and you can see that I have all the jar files which I would typically not need, but anyways I almost have all of them. So we are good to go. Okay, now let's if you remember, okay, now forget about the Hindi videos. Let's go ahead, directly jump into the English version of it. So what I'll do is first I'll make a new package. Okay, first I'll make a new package, and my package actually says about annotations for test.ng. Okay, finish. So now test.ng annotations, first I'll make a new class. So class will be about annotations precedence. I'll not select the main method, and after I do this I'll go and explain a little bit about test.ng and all that. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's understand a little bit about test.ng, how it works and everything. What is test.ng? There are certain questions which needs answers first. Oh god, sorry. So what I'll do, okay, fine, I've created a box and I've come here. Okay, oh god, what am I doing? Control Z. Okay, this MS Paint size increase is always, it will go to not responding state. I have never encountered even once that MS Paint, when I try to increase the size, it will not go into you know, not responding. That is highly irritating. But anyways, first and foremost we'll understand what is test.ng. Okay, then we'll answer what are other alternatives to test.ng. Okay, then we'll answer what are the advantages of test.ng. Okay, then we will learn about some features of test.ng. Okay, so now we'll answer all these questions one by one. Let's first go ahead and answer what is test.ng. So we'll answer it in green. So test.ng is a framework. Okay, test.ng is a framework, as well as test.ng is an execution engine. It does not require a main method to execute. Like in normal Java projects, you need to have a main method wherein the control will come in and then only it will execute. No, test.ng has its own execution mechanism. So test.ng is also an execution engine. Some people say it's a framework, some people say it's an execution engine. So to answer this question, why don't we, rather not discussing on our own, let's go to testng.org and hear from the people who made TestNG. How about that? Okay, so what does it say? TestNG is a testing framework inspired from JUnit and NUnit, but introducing some new functionalities that make it more powerful and easier to use. As simple as that. Okay, so some might also call it a testing framework, or I will also call it a unit framework, unit testing framework. Both developers and testers use this. And what are the other alternatives to TestNG? See, the other alternative are, of course, as I answered, we have JUnits, which are very popular. I have never used NUnit, but even that is also there. So these are certain alternatives to TestNG. And prior to TestNG, JUnits was very popular. But now what happened was, why there is an interview question which is generally asked, what are the advantages of TestNG? On top of that, the other form of this interview question is, why use TestNG over JUnits? See, this is a question which is generally asked in interviews, and the answer to this is very simple. The most important answer is, the most important answer is TestNG has its own reporting system. So there are various, like let's say for example, we have index.html reports, we have emailable reports. Even though they are all HTML forms and they are not very grand, but they actually have a reporting system. Okay, so TestNG is very useful in this regard, and JUnit does not have its own reporting system, and that is why TestNG is very popular. Okay, now what are certain features? First and foremost, you can prioritize the test cases. Okay, you can do this. What you can do is you can add dependencies. Okay, and what the other things what you can do is you can, okay, I'll make the font a little small. Okay, I'll take this one a little above. I don't know why is this color not changing, God knows. Whatever. Okay, we can add our dependencies. On top of that, okay, we can also do a lot of invocation count, which actually means the number of test cases, how many times we want to execute, multiple number of times. All those scenarios can be done. Okay, we can choose to, you know, enable and disable, or disable a certain test case. This is also very useful. We can do parallel execution. Okay, we can run it as a suite, as a complete test suite. So there are a lot of options. We can, and one of the most important factors is parameterization. Which is either done by testng.xml file, or you can use the annotation @data provider. We will learn each of it in complete details. So this is a basic overview about why we need a TestNG in designing Selenium testing frameworks or whatever. So this is mostly the interview questions that will cover on a theoretical perspective of understanding what TestNG is. Now let's go back to our coding. Okay, so I hope you can take a screenshot of this particular page. Now the thing is, first and foremost, we need to understand what are the different annotations and why the precedence is important. So before we go into the annotations and the precedence part of it, you just have to do one more thing before you go ahead. You right click on this particular project, go to properties, go to the libraries section, and here we have added all the jar files, but there is one more thing which needs to be done. Click on add library button, and there will be something known as testng. Okay, select testng, next, and finish it, and apply and close. So that's it. See, the moment I did that, the testng library came here, you saw. Okay, so it auto refresh itself. Sometimes it does not, especially when it comes to output. You'll have to refresh the page, refresh the project, sorry. So now this thing is done. Now we need to understand what are the different annotations that testng uses. So very simple. Rather than, I'll write it myself of course, but I want to show you how can you find this. So right click on this particular project, go to testng, and just click on create testng class. Here you will see all the annotations that you need: before method, after method, for before class, after class, before test, after test, before suite, after suite, and data provider. Technically all of them are working and functional, but there are certain annotations which are way more used in our industry. But anyways, we will just create a very small program which will actually depict the precedence of the annotations execution. Okay, so you can just go to this, right click on this particular project and go to testng and open the testng class, and you will see all the annotations here. If you remember, I told you in these okay, where did it went? Okay, somehow it went off. Anyways, I'm closing this. I know not to save it. So if you remember, I told that data provider is used for parameterization purpose. So we'll learn this. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead, and first we'll understand what are the different types of annotations that are used. So what I'll do is I'll write it in the order of precedence. Okay, so first is before suite, then before test. And guys, you have to be very careful, it is also case sensitive. You cannot write before test as T small and B small or interchange them, nothing like that. You have to write as it is. Then you have to write before class, before method, @test, this is the most important, after method, after class, after test, after suite. Now how do I use this @before suite? So for every testng annotation, to make it functional and to make it work, to get the logical output of that particular annotation using this, so what you need to do is you have to make in method for that particular annotation. So let's say this is before suite method. Okay, and I'll just print this is before suite annotation method body. Okay, so now it hovers over here. So what you need to do is, when see this is showing some, we have not imported packages, so you just have to hover your mouse over here and it will tell you import before suite org.testng.annotations. okay, select this and then you will see that the error is gone and this particular thing has been imported. As simple as that. Okay, now similarly we will write for before test. So I'll write public void before test. Wait, I'm getting a call, guys. Sorry for that, I got a call. Anyways, so we will also continue with this. I'll just write it off. This is a before test method body or something like that. Then I'll Control Shift O and all these things. So what you need to do is you will have to write the method for each of them. So what I'll not write, I'll just copy paste and then I'll change it inside the methods. Inside the annotations I'll go and change whatever changes needs to be done. I'll not write each and everything. So yeah, so I'll come one by one. This is before suite, this is before test. Okay, so this I can change it to before class, and I'll write this is a before class. Okay, I'll save it and I'll control shift O. And always remember to import it from annotations.testng.annotations. Do not import it from JUnit, because you are not using JUnit. This is a mistake which people do. Okay, always do it from. So actually I'm importing almost everything. So here before test is there. I have, this is before method. Okay, this is a before. I'll change it to before method. And similarly, okay, this is very important. The @test is the most important annotation here. So let me say this is a registration test. I'll give it a very good name. This is a registration test case. So this is a test case actually. @test is a test case. This is a registration test case. Okay. Then here I'll make it after method. Okay. Okay, this is, I'll change it to after class. After class, so doesn't matter, I'll rename it after class. This is an after test. Okay, this is after suite. Now in this particular program we have before suite annotation, before test, before class, before method. There is only one test case. You have after method, you have after class, you have after test, and you have after suite. So let's run this particular program, and what happens here is you can right click, run as. You will not see Java application because you are using testng. Okay, so you'll run it as testng test. Click on this. So you will get a certain output. What is wrong? Remote support, initialize everything, detected version, testng version. Okay. Okay, I don't know, let me check what is going on. Okay guys, the error was because of the testng version which I'm using was pretty old. Anyways, I upgraded to 7.2. okay, the latest testng. So I'll run it here. See, we get the output. Okay, what I did here was I introduced another test known as login test. So what I'll do is I'll remove this for the time being. Okay, I'll run this again to showcase with showcase. Okay, we'll run the previous program. See, now we'll go and check the output first. See, so what did execute first? Before suite, then before test. So this is the precedence of annotation execution. Before class, before method. This is a registration test case. That is, test case is executed after all these. Okay, then after method, after class, after test, and finally after suite. So in many interview questions, many interviews, they will ask this question: how is testng annotate? What are the different annotations? So these are the interview questions, guys. I'll write it down. Interview questions. They will say, what are the different testng annotations that you know? Okay, how many did you use? Okay, this is another trick question. And then they'll say what is the precedence. Okay, so the answer to the precedence is first and foremost @ before suite, followed by @ before test, followed by @ before class, followed by @ before method, followed by @ test, followed by @ after method, followed by @ after class, followed by @ after test, followed by @ after suite. This is the precedence of execution. Before suite, before test, before class, before method, @ test, after method, after class, after test, and after suite. This is the correct answer. Okay, you can also see the same here. Understood? Now let me tell you one thing. How many test cases are there? There is only one test case. Okay, registration test. There is only one test case. That is why this registration test is pass. So test run is 1 and we didn't have any failures. Let's say for example I'll have another test case. Okay, let's say public void login test, and I'll write sysO. This is a login test case. I'll save it and I'll run it again. We'll wait for the output. See, we have 2 test cases now, and see here you see passed, login test, registration test, everything. It is actually working. See, the thing is, now the question comes, why do now there is one more question which will come in your head, that is how many test cases can we actually introduce? There is no limitations. It totally depends upon how you use your programming concept and how you use your test case design technique to write this particular form of code. So there is no limitations as how many test cases. You write 1,000,000 test cases, it is all up to you. It will execute. Okay, so but here in our program we have 2 test cases, so all these things are actually being used. So in the next video I'll tell you about what is the significance of all these other annotations. Are they really important to be used? What if I do not want to use them and all? I'll tell you in the next video. I'll not jumble everything here. I hope you like this session, guys. This is a very important concept, and this is a very basic thing of using TestNG. So what did we learn? We learned about how to uninstall if at all TestNG is already installed, how to install it, and if TestNG is misbehaving, then what are the different types of workarounds which you need to do. There is also another workaround which might work, might not work, again depends upon the Eclipse version you are using. So if you see, my Eclipse version is approximately this. I started using it in June 2019, so mine is almost a year old. So some versions are working, some TestNG versions might not work. So if in case it doesn't work, you can go to Eclipse Marketplace, and you select here TestNG. In the find section you'll have to write TestNG. Just wait for a minute. Okay, that place is editable. Okay, TestNG, and then you click on this. So what will happen is I might get I'm not getting anything, right? You might say ki I'm not getting any sort of plugin. It's not true. You click here, so this thing will open the browser. The browser control will come inside the Eclipse Marketplace here, and here you have the TestNG Eclipse, and then you click on install, and then you again do the same thing which you did using install software. But again, this might work, might not work. Okay, so it is much better to use from help install software and directly put the update site for release URL here. Just remember, at the end you will not include that dot. You just remove that dot, and then it should be fine. And that's mostly it. I hope you like this session. In the next session I'll tell you about what are all the importance and significance of all these, and especially what is the significance of before method alongside after method and all. So I'll tell you the significance of all the annotations. Thanks a lot, guys, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel Automation Hub Sarthak and keep supporting me. Thank you so much. Sarthak here, signing off.